I wanted to share with you guys a mushroom that I struggle to find. I only find one or two a year. Generally, they don't grow in large groups or clusters, but they're an interesting mushroom, and the whole genus actually fascinates me. But this particular mushroom is an edible mushroom, although it's quite woody. And so I would eat less of the stem than normal and eat the caps and cook them slow and long. Would be a good soup mushroom. This is the purple gilled Laccaria. It belongs in Michigan's purple mushrooms, and it also belongs in Michigan's rare and beautiful mushrooms. It's not necessarily rare, but it is definitely infrequent, and it is definitely in the beautiful category. Now, the stalk doesn't have to be so embellished, and neither does the cap, but the morphology of the mushroom is definitely unique. Once you learn to handle them and you see them, it's pretty unique and easy to recognize. I wanted to find one that was fully open, and unfortunately I didn't. One of the distinguishing features when you cut the cap, I'm going to cut that in half and see if I can show you guys the blades of Laccaria, is the blades usually are pretty deep and pronounced compared to the thickness of the cap. See, the blade is almost double the width right there. So the blades of the gills of the purple gilled Laccaria, or Laccaria ochropurpurea, are pretty wide and pretty thick. It's an edible mushroom. I can't say it's absolutely delicious, but it's definitely worth trying at least once. Remember to cook it slow and long. These particular mushrooms were brought to my attention by Rebecca Ann. I want to give her a thanks. We went out and visited her and her family at her dad's cabin. We had a very enjoyable time. We'll include photos of that wonderful family in this video. But one of the major purposes of this video, aside from showing you this awesome Michigan mushroom, the purple gilled Laccaria, I call it the toe stubber. Let's make that a trend. The toe stubber, because David Michael has to stub his toe to actually find it. Is Dawn and I need help. We want to get up a few videos of rare and beautiful mushrooms of Michigan, and there are a handful of mushrooms that I have only found once or twice in my life. A couple I have never found in my life. And we have a lot of Michiganders out there that are doing some wood stomping, and more eyes are better than two. So we're gonna show you some pictures of some rare mushrooms in the state of Michigan, and if any of you guys see them or know of them, hey, give us a shout, and Dawn and I will come videotape it, give you a shout out, and hopefully we'll have a good time and find some mushrooms, and Dawn and I can get these videos up faster than it would be if I continue to hunt for another decade trying to find them. The purple Laccaria, the purple gilled Laccaria loves deciduous woods. It can grow in clusters, and it can grow solitary. It can be short, fat, squatty, embellished in various different ways, but remember, the blade is thicker than the hat generally. It has purple gills and a cream to very dull white cap and stem. Thanks, guys. I will definitely put those photos at the behind this video, and credits to Rebecca and her family. Thank you, guys. I'm excited to show you guys this. The issue that we have with field guides, mushroom field guides, is the pictures of the mushrooms generally in the field guides are the best specimens possible. Most people want to photograph the mushroom in its prime, in its peak, when it's its best. And so beginning foragers are out here and they're seeing mushrooms in different stages of its morphology, the fruiting body's morphology. And so they'll see an old one or they'll see a new one, and they won't recognize what that particular mushroom is. Now, this is an extremely rare mushroom, and I hope to do a full video on it once I find the specimen fully open. And I went ahead and sacrificed this one to show you the beginning stages of Vorvaliella. This is a beautiful mushroom that when it's full, it can be 3 to 5 inches, even bigger. It averages 3 to 5 inches. It's a white-capped mushroom with a white stem, gills. And it's just so graceful the way it comes off of a tree, and it looks like a ballerina in pose. It's an astounding mushroom. It's very rare. This is the first one I found in 5 years, and one of the reasons that I went ahead and picked it before it was fully open was so that I could show you guys exactly the morphology of this mushroom. Now, I'll have to include pictures of an adult specimen, which is all you're going to see in a field guide. Generally, a field guide doesn't show you the different stages of growth, but when this is first starting, it'll just be this kind of cream colored cap. It just looks like maybe an egg or a thumb on the side of a tree. And this sac, or this skin, remains as the mushroom emerges, and it emerges and opens up. This skin will stay. So you'll see like this broken open egg sac with this beautiful mushroom coming out and just hanging on the side of a tree. So you can see this skin. I'll kind of peel it away here. And then we can see the stem, right? Sorry, I must have been too close. I peeled that skin away. That's what it looked like as it was emerging. So I peeled this skin away, and you can see the stem starting. You can see the stem going into the cap. This is the cap. Now this will open up and the stem will get long and graceful. It's a delicious mushroom, and usually you see them solitary, but I've seen photos of multiple specimens on one tree. This particular specimen I found on a willow tree, large willow tree, and usually they're high off the ground. A lot of times you can't even reach them, and they go unnoticed, I think, because they're so high. But the greater majority of these that I've found in my life, which isn't very many, have been on hard maple trees. The tree Vorvaliella. White cap, white stem, gilled mushroom. I'll leave spore print and all that other stuff at the end of the video. Safe and happy foraging, guys. I got a really cool one I want to show you guys. This one is called the stinking oyster, or the orange mock oyster. You don't really worry about people confusing this with a edible oyster because the odor is so offensive. If you've ever smelled really dirty laundry, one book I've seen it listed as rotten cabbage odor, but what I get is dirty laundry odor. Smell that. Oh my God.
Stinky winky.
Anyway, usually this mushroom is really fuzzy. It has really crowded gills. The gills are orange. This will have a pink spore print, if I remember correctly. The Latin name of this is Phylotopsis nigilans. It can grow one or two at a time, It can just cover a log. It's listed as a frequent bloomer in a lot of books, but I rarely see it actually. I only see it maybe once every 2 years, but it can cover a log or it can just grow in 1 or 2. It shelves out just like an oyster. It really resembles an oyster, only it never really has a stem. But the gills are extremely crowded. With a magnifying glass, you can see that it's hairy. It can be really bright orange. And as it ages, it can turn really a drab brown and be kind of unnoticeable, at which point you definitely wouldn't mistake this for an oyster. But at a distance, when you see this in large blooms on logs, you definitely think you have oysters. And when you get up there, you're like, oh, and if you smell it, you're like, why did I do that? The orange mock oyster, or the stinking oyster, Phylotopsis nigilans. You've been formally introduced. Let's go see another mushroom. Hi guys, I got a really cool one to show you. This is the first one I've ever found, and I can't lay claim to it because Dawn found it. This is Chromopes. It's striking. This cap can be a dull pink to kind of a chalky pink. Of course, this has been rained on because we're mushroom hunting in the rain. But the cool feature here, not only are the scabers and a bit of rosy blushing, very little, but a bit of rosy blushing, but the scabers on the stem, this bright, bright, bright yellow stipe. Now this is an edible mushroom, but I don't see it very often in Michigan at all. And I don't know how common it is. I know that I've been stomping the woods for a long time mushroom hunting, and this is the first one I've ever got to lay eyes on, and Dawn was the one to find it, so I can't really chalk it off my bucket list. But Chromopes, an edible bolete, bright, bright, bright yellow at the end of the stipe, scabers, of course pores, and a pink to a chalkish pink top. Very cool find.